down on the goal line, comes in and plays fullback. He had 49 touchdown runs. And they were cutting on 4th and 6. And Bloomsburg got an enticement penalty. Kind of like this guy first time to jump off. And they called enticement because he can't do it. And that gave him the 4th and 1 at the 49. So it puts on 1 for it. And they put 49 yards for a touchdown. They had a shot. And that's the only game they've ever won. They haven't they've never been behind. This is the first game anybody's been within 28 points. So they haven't been challenged.
Bring you another season of IUP Hawk Talk, featuring the voice of the Crimson Hawks, Jack Benedict, along with IUP head coach Paul Tortorella and special guests each week from the Indiana Elks. This week's edition of Hawk Talk is brought to you by the Meredith Inn, the Co-op Store, and by the Indiana Elks Lodge. Now let's go live to the Indiana Elks. Here's Jack Benedict.
And hello, everyone, and welcome aboard to the Elks Lodge here in Indiana. This is Jack Benedict along with Coach Paul Tortorella. It's called Hawk Talk. We do this each and every Monday from 6 to 7 o'clock after IUP's games on Saturday, and we're glad to have you along. We're going to have young Charlie Mill join us here as the player representing. It's 6:30, so stay with us. He'll be coming along. And if you have any questions, you can also pass them along to us. We'll do that with the coach a little bit later on. Well, what a game, huh? I think, first of all, how about if we give a round of applause to the champions of the PSAC West? If my numbers are right, that's 23 times, Coach. Quite a game. Unbelievable. You know, we talk about games where there are comebacks, but 4 in one game? That was just unbelievable what happened, and it's tough to play from behind, isn't it?
Well, yeah, you don't want to get in a situation. I mean, you know, we were down 7-0, and we threw the pick. I mean, and they could have went up 14-0, and we stopped them on 4th and 1 down there. So we stayed within a touchdown the whole first half, except that when they scored, they made it 28-14. There were 9 minutes to go in the second quarter, and you know, we talked to the defense, said, hey, there's a lot of football left. Let's just lock in, and then got it to 28-21, and the interception hurt in the end zone where we were on the 20-yard line, 2nd and 1, that we probably would have tied it up. We knew we were going to get the kickoff in the second half. So that interception in the back of the end zone that we challenged, it was kind of bang, but they said he was in bounds. That hurt. That took a touchdown away from us that we thought we were going to get. So we thought we'd be in at 28-28. But we knew we were getting the ball to start the second half, and we made some adjustments defensively. You know, the first 20 minutes on defense was a total disaster, but the last 40 minutes was really good. I mean, but when you give up 28 points in 20 minutes, no matter what you do the rest of the game, it's not going to look great. But from that point on, other than the last touchdown after the kickoff return, we gave up one play, a long run, gave up 7 points, had 2 fourth down stops, 2 fumble recoveries, and made them punt 3 times. So the last 40 minutes defensively were good. The first 20 were really, really, really bad. And then offensively, we really moved the ball the whole game. 2 series, the interception late, and then the one series where we started on their 40 after it was a bad punt, we took a sack. And usually if we're starting on the other team's 40, there's a pretty good chance we're going to get some points out of it. So we felt like At halftime, we had 21, but we should have had 35, really, on offense.
It must have been a heck of a halftime speech you had, because I looked at the stats and at halftime, 347 yards. Second half, they only had 169. So
yeah, and one came on 59.
Really,
one play, they got 59 yards.
Yeah.
Well, the one thing you can never do is panic. So when we went in at halftime, only down 7, we felt good. We were getting the kickoff for the second half. We knew we kind of stabilized on defense. We knew offensively we've kind of shot ourselves in the foot a couple times. I thought for sure we would do what we did offensively in the second half. It was just a matter of us to continue to play the second half on defense like we did in the last 8 minutes of the second quarter.
Yeah. I know that you make adjustments. You made adjustments for the second half. Were there many adjustments? Were there major adjustments? Whatever you did, it worked.
I mean, not really. I mean, they were taking advantage of a couple things, so we just kind of tweaked a couple things on defense. And we really, at the end of the day, had to stop the run. That's what the problem was. They were the quarterback. He's going to be hard to tackle. There's a couple times we have him, we don't get him down. He gets one-on-one with one of our guys. He's probably their fastest guy on their whole team, and he's a great athlete. And he was playing really well. But you can't get frustrated because he's going to make you miss, and he's going to scramble, and he's going to hit some quarterback draws. But we didn't give up really any big passes after the touchdown that made it 28-14. We didn't give up a pass over 16 yards, I think, the rest of the day. So, we did some things. I'll tell you the other thing is we started to get a good pass rush. We ended up getting 4 sacks. We started getting a good rush on the quarterback. We obviously were covering them better, obviously, and we were stopping the run. Really, the one run that came out on 3rd and 1, we had 2 guys on a missed assignment, and it ended up being a 59-yard run. You take that out of it, they have like 100 yards in the whole second half, and we had a chance to shut them out in the second half if we don't give up that long run.
I know you had a lot of respect for the quarterback, Gershio. I think you talked with him after the game,
Absolutely,
didn't you?
Yeah. He's a tough kid. I mean, we've played against him for 3 years. He runs the ball. He throws it. He takes a lot of shots. He's been hurt all year. He's a good athlete. He's a great competitor, and he was on. He was throwing the ball better than he had all year. He didn't miss many throws. We knew we would be. He was going to run and get his yards running around, scrambling, and with their quarterback runs. But he threw the ball, and they made some great catches. The second touchdown, the play they make going down there on the 2-yard line, I mean, we got great coverage. It's just a great throw and a great catch. So those are the plays that don't concern us as much as the big runs that came out, a couple missed assignments that hurt us. We lost contain on him one time, and he scrambled and threw the ball down the field. We left our coverage. Those are the things that, we tried to get rectified. I mean, like I tell our defense, the offenses we play against, they practice, they get coaches that get paid, they're going to make some plays. You're not going to shot, And same thing on offense. We've gotten to the point offensively, we've scored a lot of points. We start to get frustrated and impatient if we don't score like every series, and it doesn't work like that. So I think we got the game settled down, and then, as the game wore on, we started to take the game over. And, if they don't get the kickoff return at the end, we outscore them 31-7 since the first 20 minutes.
Yeah. We know what penalties will do to hurt you. That happened.
It killed them.
It killed them. They were 13 penalties, if you didn't know, for 129 yards.
Yes.
And you got a break on the fake punt, too.
Yeah, and they held our guy, but our guy was not going to make the tackle. They held him. It was a holding call. They didn't have to hold him. So we got a break there. But all the other calls, like the one punt return, they hit 2 guys in the back. They probably got away with a couple holds. But I'm not really worried about the calls against the opponent. we had 5 penalties for 55 yards, which is not bad. The face mask penalty is a bad call. He grabbed the shirt. He didn't grab the face mask. We got a retaliation penalty after the 1 extra point, and we got a pass interference. Ian McGatcher played it pretty good, but I could see where they'd call interference, and it doesn't help when it's on their sideline. So, I figured we'd get called for it, but I thought he played it pretty good. They ran a double move on him. So the PI was 15. The retaliation penalty was 15. The face mask that really wasn't a face mask was 15. And then we had 1 delay a game and a snap infraction on offense. We didn't have any holding calls. We only gave up 1 sack, which is what we were concerned with because their defense had forced a lot of fumbles and had a lot of sacks. They'd given up a lot of points, but when they stopped people, they were getting sacks and forcing fumbles.
Yeah.
We didn't put it on the ground, and we only gave up 1 sack.
Did you feel all along that they couldn't stop your pass?
Yeah, we knew that when we were throwing, we had guys wide open, and they weren't getting a lot of pressure. We were protecting well. They didn't blitz a lot. We had some mismatches. The middle of the field was wide open. Chamonix had a field day. Maurice had a couple big plays one-on-one. They cover him great on the fade down on the goal line, but it's big man on little man again. The coverage is as good as the guy, and the guy's all over him. It's really not interference, and we still catch it. The other catch that he makes is a great catch on the corner right down in the end zone. Great throw and catch. Reevy was other than the interception in the back of the end zone, which he should have just thrown it away. The first interception, it goes through our guy's hands. We run a slant. He hits the guy right in the hands. It goes through his hands, and they get an interception out of it. So, you could pick play here, maybe play there. Really, Matt, 3 times he ran for first downs also. Probably the only, really bad play was that interception that he threw in the back of the end zone. It was bang, bang. The guy was right on the back line, and our receiver could have done a better job not allowing that guy to catch the ball. Mm-hmm. But that was probably Matt's only really negative play the whole game.
Mm-hmm. I did see that he's the co-West Offensive Player of the Week.
Well, you'd think you would when you throw 6 touchdown passes. I'd love to know who the other guy was.
Well, the other guy was the running back from Edinburgh.
That ran for 250 or whatever he ran for.
With 31 carries.
Yeah, that's good. He deserved it also.
Yeah, to his credit.
Yep.
I was going to ask you about this. The way the game ended, too, was just unbelievable. After the whole day, we're going, fighting back and then taking the lead and so on. And Tadon Strickland's tackle on Gershio, and it was like still a photo where you looked and here's the runner and here's what's going to happen here. He made a heck of a play.
Outstanding play. It's one-on-one in space with the best athlete on the field, their quarterback.
Yes.
You couldn't have played it any better. He had there was no help in regards to stopping him from getting a first down. He had to make the play to stop him from getting a first down. Now, we had other guys that would have been there to make the tackle, but he would have made a first down. The play that Tadon makes is just an unbelievable play. And to the credit of the defense, Smitty came up with 2 huge calls late in the game. The blitz, where we got the sack, and then on the last play, we ran a stunt to stop the zone. They ran what we thought they were going to run, and we stunted, and we took the running back away with our line slanting, and Tadon beat the tackle and scraped to the quarterback, so there was no doubt who had who, and he made an unbelievable play. But there was another call in that last drive Smitty made. He made 3 great calls that were huge calls.
Well, it all paid off for the victory. Here's one of from the category here of the fans speak. Your offensive line was able to keep Matthew clean most of the day. How important was that in the shootout that we had?
If you go back and look at our 9 games, when we get stopped, it's either by penalties or sacks. We're going to complete passes, okay? And it's hard to just stop our offense without us taking a big negative play or get a penalty and get behind the chains. So if we can keep one sack, we threw it, I mean, I don't know, we threw it 40 times, I guess. I don't really
I think
remember.
it was maybe 46. I
Yeah,
think.
so, when you throw it 46 times, there's chance you might give up a sack. So to give up one sack on 46 attempts, we'll take that every day because, he doesn't throw many incompletions. Mm-hmm. So we're getting catches and making yards every time we throw the ball. There's not many incompletions. So the two things that kill us are penalties and sacks. When we don't get penalties and sacks on offense, we're hard to stop.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when you complete 70% of your throws. Okay, we're going to continue with Hawk Talk. We're live from the Elks Lodge here, and we'll be back with Coach Tortorella. We'll talk more about championship coming up this Saturday. We'll be back on U92.5 and Renda Digital TV right after this.
Since 1936, Walker Motor Company in downtown Katanning has served Western Pennsylvania with its no-pressure, no-hassle environment, bringing the kind of family-owned and oriented dealer experience that everyone wants when it comes time to purchase a new or used vehicle. Whether you are looking for a new GMC, pre-owned vehicle, service, or collision repair, come on over to Walker Motors and see why they've been voted #1 for 6 straight years. Visit them at walker-motor.com.
Located along the beautiful Allegheny River in downtown Katanning, the Meredith Inn provides an atmosphere of casual upscale dining. If you're looking for the perfect venue for your next event, look no further than the Meredith Inn. Family gatherings, wedding rehearsal, business meeting, or just a night out. It's perfect for all occasions, and their menu has something for everyone, leaving all full and satisfied. For more information, visit them at themeredithinn.com or call 724-793-7364.
Looking for food, fun, and entertainment with a purpose? The Elks Lodge 931 in Indiana is more than a place. It's community. Become an Elk. Enjoy food, fun, bowling, music, events, and a banquet hall. Distinctly American, Elks are rooted in brotherly love, charity, fidelity, and justice. Annually giving tens of thousands to local charities. We give back not at the Elks, as an Elk. See them at 475 South 13th Street and on Facebook today. Elks Lodge 931, where community and compassion meet.
Jack Benedict along with Coach Paul Tortorella. We just got the recent the regional rankings coming out here, and I'll give it to you. It's hot off the press. Kutztown undefeated, 10-0 is number 1. Remember, the top 8 teams go to the playoffs, NCAAs. Virginia Union is second at 9-1. Johnson C. Smith at 9-1 is third, and IUP, as most of us expected, Coach, moved up 1 from 5 to 4 at 7-2. Cal is right behind you at 7-3. Frostburg State is 6th at 8-2, and then we have Assumption, who lost, and they're 7-2. So, that's going to be out of there. Fayetteville State is number 8 at 6-3, and then you've got Slippery Rock 6-3, number 9, and Charleston at 7-3 in the number 10 spot. So, no real surprises there, do you think?
No, I mean, I guess the team that was 4 in front of us lost, and obviously we won, so we just bumped up to 4. Those other teams ahead of us are, undefeated and only have 1 loss. So it probably is it's pretty obvious.
Here's another question from one of our fans. Randy Acuna seems to be playing really well for you on the defensive front. Maybe it's the interview we did with him, but he's been playing pretty steady.
He had a great game Saturday. Had 2.5 sacks, 3 hurries. Was really good in the run game. Defense, he played a great game. He and Strickland were our defensive players of the game. Matt and Chamonix were our offensive players of the game. Whitlock was our special teams player of the game with his returns in the kicking game. And then the scout team guys were, I can't think of who they are now. On offense, it was, what's his name? Drawing a blank here.
It'll come to
the
you.
Guard from Kiski area. Murphy, Eddie Murphy.
Cam Murphy.
Yeah, and on defense, it was Rev Walker, the defensive end. From West Mifflin.
You got a lot of help from the veteran Noah Vaughn because of the lack of Logan Goodwin.
Right. Logan couldn't go.
And Mashir.
And so Mayo and Vaughn took most of his reps, and Randy played almost the whole game at defensive end. And then in pass rush situations, we move Randy inside. That's where he caused a lot of problems on pass rush when he was an inside guy. That happens, you got a defensive end who is a little bit quicker than most inside down guys, and he caused a lot of problems for him when he was inside. So we move him inside, and then Goodwin and Vaughn are usually our edge rushers, but Goodwin couldn't play, so when we were getting a lot of pressure in the second half, it was Mayo and Vaughn outside, and then either Williams and Danielson inside with Randy Akungu. And Vaughn actually, he made a great play on the last series too on a quarterback run. He was actually dropping on the zone blitz, and he made a great play on the quarterback for a no gain. So, there's about 7 or 8 plays on offense, 7 or 8 plays on defense in the second half, 3 or 4 plays in the kicking game that we had to make, and we made
through. Well, whenever we talked with Randy last week when he was on here, and he talked about playing inside sometime that he had previously.
Right.
You were aware of all this, I'm sure.
Sure,
when
yeah.
You got
he played inside at
versatility.
Millersville in a different defense, and the funny thing is Randy's been at Millersville, and then he was hurt last year. He was, without a doubt, the happiest guy on our football team after the game Saturday. He was ecstatic because, he said, he goes, I never thought I'd be able to play in the PSAC championship because they were on hard times when he was at Millersville. And he was, without a doubt, the happiest guy in the locker room.
Well, I picked the wrong guy to talk about there, but it was good that, he came through. Let's see. We have, okay, here we go. One of the fans said, have you ever been around a passing game with so many weapons and seeing Shemani come along to make it even more versatile? Have you been around in all your years?
Well, first of all, it starts with the quarterback who can make all the throws. That's the first part of it. Then you've got 4, not counting Parsons and Banks out of the backfield. You got a tight end and 3 wide receivers that are pretty dynamic. So, it's a tough passing game. It's tough to cover all those guys, And now they're tilting the coverage to Massey. He's getting doubled sometimes, and Whitlock is, one-on-one. He's tough because he gets a lot of yardage after the catch, and then we've got some other guys too. We've got 6 or 7 receivers as a whole, but the guy that's really helped us is Cooper. He made a couple big catches on Saturday again. Not Cooper, Coleman. Cooper's. Why I said that, he came up to me today and said, Kyrie Cooper, who coached at his high school, who played for me and played for us, said, you can tell him thanks after the season. And I said, well, he can thank me for coaching him for 4 years. How's that? But anyway, that's why I called him Cooper. But Coleman has added a dimension with Whitlock, Chamonix, and Massey. That's that's 4 guys, and then you haven't even covered the running. We throw the ball to run. Both our running backs have over 20 catches. Yes. Parson and Banks. So that's a lot of, when you see our stats. I think Saturday, we had 10 guys catch passes, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he
Saturday.
spreads it around, yeah. The other thing is, I'm going to give some credit, to the veteran, to Randy Washington.
Yeah.
And he's giving you another dimension. We've been waiting for this, and I know he's been waiting for it because he's been banged up for so many years. And, he gave you a little spurt in there a couple of times.
Well, you need 3 running backs. It's just, especially the type of offense that we run, you need to be 3 running backs are going to play in the game, and he's our 3rd running back, and we don't lose anything with him in the game. The other thing is McDonough had to start because Shovlin was hurt. That was his first start of his career, and he played great. He played great. When you don't notice an offensive lineman, he's playing good, and he played great.
What is the status on Shovlin?
He won't be ready this week, so hopefully, down the road we'll get him back.
How about Goodwin?
Yeah, he's going to play.
Okay, I know he
practiced today.
He was itching to get in.
Yeah, but he wasn't really quite ready. We could have put him in for pass rush, but he didn't practice all week. It wouldn't have been fair to do that.
Yeah, and what really take
And
a chance?
you don't. I mean, he just didn't practice all week.
Yeah.
Now he practiced today, so he'll be ready to go this week.
Yeah. One of the drives, the series, it's always, time of possession and everything else. 16 plays, 88 yards, and then the pass to Connor Shemani gives you the lead, and then what happened. But boy, you eat up clock. You keep it away from their quarterback and their high-powered offense.
Right.
That's the name of the game.
Well, it's complementary football. We threw an interception. They got the ball 1st and 10 on our 30. We stopped them. So the defense picked up the offense. Then when we needed a drive offensively, we had the ball on our own 12-yard line. We went 88 yards. I think we used 8 minutes of the clock and scored a touchdown, and our defense got a chance to rest and keep their offense off the field. Mm-hmm. The 2 early kickoff returns were huge to set up our offense after we gave up touchdowns. And then at the end of the game, Spittler's punt at the end of the game is a huge play. He has a 43-yard punt with 2 minutes to go with no return, so we're punting from our 34, and I think they get the ball on their 23-yard line. So that gives us enough room to play defense and not have to gamble. And, their kicker's not a bad kicker, but they would have had to get the ball to our 25 to have a chance at a field goal. So they had 50 yards they had to gain, and they only had one timeout, and they had to go pretty much the length of the field. And the good thing we did is we kept them in bonds on everything. They caught a couple short passes, and we tackled them in bonds, and the clock, kept moving.
I want to give a lot of credit. You brought up the kicker, Nick Andracey, Aiden Spittler, guys that have been here for 4 years. They've been very, very solid for you, and they were a big part of the
Andracey had 4 touchbacks. And the wind was there was some wind up there on Saturday, depending on which side. It really wasn't down. It was like going crosswind. So you weren't ever really kicking with the wind or into the wind, but it was like coming towards our sideline. So, like the one kick late in the game, he was close to kicking. He kicked it out of the end zone, but he almost kicked it out of bounds because the wind was blowing that way. Mm-hmm. So he adjusted, and he kicked it deep enough that he didn't, it got past the goal line before it bounced in the end zone and went out of bounds. Mm.
You brought this up earlier. You really got a great lift from Devin Whitlock as far as returning kicks, because you're getting much better field position.
Right. And the one would have been a touchdown, but the kicker tripped him. He got a penalty for it. I mean, I thought the officials did a great. I thought the officials were
When was
great.
the last time you remember tripping?
There's 2 of them. They got called twice for tripping. Once on defense and once on their kickoff coverage. And they both tackles, they stuck the foot out and tripped him because he made a move on him. But I thought the officiating was excellent.
With the championship game coming up, how do they determine? Are they predetermined officials for Game 10 of this season, or do they?
No, I think because remember when we played Shepherd in 22, we didn't have any idea who the officials were going to be. Mm-hmm. So they obviously use a ranking system to pick them for the PSAC championship. Because if it was just already decided, we'd already known who we would have been playing. We were supposed to play Kutztown anyway.
Yes.
So if that was the case, we probably would have had a crew that they had picked. But we never got wind of that, because now that it's the PSAC championship, they picked the best crew. I guess it's the best crew. I don't know. Rankings. We rank every officiating crew after every game. The whole crew, the referee and all of them. And, to be honest, I think we've had really good officiating.
Well, you said the last
games.
Couple of weeks have been good.
Really, I have 0 complaints about the officiating at all.
Can't say more about the officials than that. Okay, we're going to be back. We've got a special player coming up as we continue with Hawk Talk. Don't forget the game Saturday at Kutztown, PSAC Championship, noon kickoff. We'll be on the radio at 11:30, and we want to see a lot of you there. So keep that in mind. That's the big day coming up on Saturday in Game 10. We'll be back with Hawk Talk after this, U92.5, and also on Renda Digital TV.
Looking for food, fun, and entertainment with a purpose? The Elks Lodge 931 in Indiana is more than a place. It's community. Become an Elk. Enjoy food, fun, bowling, music, events, and a banquet hall. Distinctly American, Elks are rooted in brotherly love, charity, fidelity, and justice. Annually giving tens of thousands to local charities. We give back not at the Elks, as an Elk. See them at 475 South 13th Street and on Facebook today. Elks Lodge 931, where community and compassion meet.
From furniture to flooring, mattresses to accessories, you'll save big at Dowd's. Dowd's showrooms are filled with furnishings from America's finest manufacturers. You can save thousands on Dowd's floor samples and receive incredible savings on custom orders. Whether you're looking to furnish one room or your entire home, right now it's all on sale at Dowd's. Drive a little, save a lot. Dowd's of Plumville and Greensburg.
Doesn't your home deserve Dowd's?
Show your IUP spirit and get your hawk on with help from the Co-op Store, your one-stop location for all your IUP swag and apparel. Check out Norm's Bargain area for $25 fleeces and hoodies. Logo tees only $9.99. The Co-op Store is also the alumni headquarters. IUP is always in your heart, so put something on your front and back that shows that alumni spirit. IUP logoed water bottles, coffee mugs, spirit items for your dorm or man cave. And don't forget the Oak Grove collection. Get your hawk on at the Co-op Store or find them online at IUPstore.com. Welcome back, everybody. Hawk Talk. We continue here till 7 o'clock from the Elks Lodge in Indiana with Coach Paul Tortorella. And don't forget, we'll have a winner later on, too, from those who signed up for a special gift card from the Meredith Inn, one of our sponsors, as they've tied in with us this year. So from Coach brings a player over each and every week. We welcome Charlie Mill with us, wide receiver, special teams player. Good to have you with us, Charlie. You know some of these people, don't you?
I do. I know some of these people. So, yeah, thanks for having me.
People who don't know, I mean, you're a grad student, and you transferred this year to IUP from Elon. What has your experience really been like since I know you've been here during the course of the summer and so on, but what's the whole thing been like for you?
It's actually been awesome. So I got here in the summer. There was a couple of guys here that I got to meet, Matt Reeve, Nelson, Parker Gregg, Marcus Day, so they were already up here, and we played golf, we worked out together, so I had a couple friends going into the fall, and then the fall's been awesome. It's been great people, like Coach Tort recruits the right type of guy at IUP. It's been such a fun experience. I live like right off campus and close to all my friends, so it's been pretty cool. So
now you started at, of course, you played high school ball at Pine Richland, right?
Yeah. Pine Richland Ram.
Pine Richland,
Oh, yeah.
And of course, the Mill family, and the Hogan family and everybody, we've got all this local tie-in, which is super.
Yeah.
So now, how did you end up at Elon? Most people didn't know about Elon until Kurt Signetti went there, although some teams like Lock Haven, I think in the past, had played them. But what was your reason going there?
Yeah, well, during COVID, it was tough to kind of get recruited. So, a lot of the PSAC schools, a lot of kids were coming back, and it was like money was tight, roster spots were tight. So most of my offers were either preferred walk-ons at Division I schools like Elon in New Hampshire and like Western Kentucky, and then, I had some D3 offers as well. So that's kind of where I had to pick, through that. So went down to Elon, really liked it. It was a cool spot, and I was 17, so I had probably too much autonomy in the decision making, but I didn't really know what I was doing, but it all worked out. So yeah.
So it was fortunate that when you can get a player like this, with a tie-in that he has.
Well, yeah, it was perfect. I think it was probably over the holidays maybe. He came over and we met with him, me and Coach Smith, and I mean it was like kind of a no-brainer for both of us. I said, look, you come here. You obviously know IUP. We definitely need you. You've played on special teams. You're a receiver. You're older. You've played at 1AA football. I'm sure you can bring value. And then on top of it, he's probably going to be he'll probably be like the 18th guy we've had masters of business to whatever MBA. Well, that's a little over my pay grade, but once he gets his MBA, I think he's going to be I think he'll be the 18th guy that gets an MBA when he's done.
Unbelievable. That's great. Well, let's go back to whenever you were at Elon and then you come to IUP. And what about, were there similarities in offense, or was this a whole new ball game?
Yeah, so really funny. In my entire high school career and then in college, I'd only ever gotten the play call via signals through the sideline. So you'd look to the sideline and they would signal in the plays, right? They call out the formation, they call out the play through signals. So this is the first time where the quarterback has a wristband in Frank Cignetti's offense, where quarterback has a wristband, they read off a number, and that's how you get the play in the huddle. So it was my first time ever. I've learned so much football the last 3 months just being around Frank, being around Coach Bradley, Coach Arnold. Like, they just know football. Coach Camp. So I've learned so much football playing for them, and it's been really fun because obviously you've been around football for so many years and you think like, oh, I know ball. Like, no you don't. There's always so much more you can learn. So I've really been a sponge, and it's been fun.
Well, this receivers core at IUP is, and Coach would probably agree, in all the years you've been here, it's very, very deep, and you're a part of that too. So that competitive in all of you really makes it a better for the team, in the long run.
We've got a wonderful room, just a bunch of really good kids. So I think that's what's been so fun to be a part of that room. Like, me and Zach Boyd were talking the other day, like, we're gonna really miss this room. Like, you want to keep the season going because it's so much fun spending time together, and we're all each other's cheerleaders. So when Whitlock's going crazy, I'm super happy, and when Massey makes big catches, and J. Cole coming on the scene as a freshman, that's really cool. So it's been really fun being in that room. Zach Boyd, he offers a lot in us in the run game, and also he can get the ball in his hands, he can make plays. So it's been really fun being a part of that crew. And obviously you got Shams at tight end, and my roommate Ross Gamp. So, we've had a lot of people just kind of, mix in the offense, and we all root for each other. It's a bunch of good kids.
You can tell he's an older player. You call them kids.
Yeah, well, yeah, he's not too wet behind the ears. He's pretty. He gets it.
We're at this point now with a 7-2 record. The rankings came out. You're now number 4 of the team, and everything that's happening around you. Going to play for a conference championship. What's that like for you?
Yeah, me and my dad were talking about this the other day. I haven't played in a playoff football game since my senior year at Pine Richland. So this has been so much fun. Whenever it gets cold, there's snow on the ground. It snowed today. You go out there for a walkthrough. It's snowing. And then it's high leverage football. You're not just playing out the end of the year for pride. You're playing out the year for some hardware. So there's a different level of juice in the air. You can really feel it on the field. All right, guys, we got something to do, something to prove, and it makes everything a little bit easier. The walkthroughs and practices now are a lot easier than they were in September as a group. You got a lot of momentum, coming downhill, or as Coach would say, downhill, as we keep going. So, yeah.
I love it. It's fun for me because when you're around a long time, and I'm speaking for myself and with a lot of games, that I think I've done games for your whole family.
Yeah,
you know, father, uncle, and of course your grandfather Jim was great, and it's and young Jim. So it never ends there, but this is great. I was glad to see that you were able to come here and contribute. It takes players. It doesn't take all your star players, your superstar players, and whatever. Like you say, it takes a lot of players.
Yeah,
to make
everybody has a role.
A role.
Charlie came in the game Saturday, caught a shallow drive right, and helped us get a field goal out of it. And he's on all the special teams. Everybody has a role, and he's a good blocker on the perimeter, and our guys, we play with a lot of receivers, and they can't play every play. So Charlie, gets in there and gives them a blow, and like I said, he caught a shallow on Saturday, and unfortunately there was a guy there to tackle him. We were hoping the guy wouldn't be there. And we would have got the first down, but
we got a lot of great special teamers, a lot of really good glue guys on the team, like Rylan Jeter. Guy makes me look good all the time.
Give him credit.
Yeah, Rylan Jeter, Devin Bertrand. Those are the guys I run down on kickoff with. I got a lot of respect for a lot of guys that do a lot of dirty work for IUP, and but they're real good at it. So,
what was it like? Describe what it was like to play in last week's game.
You go down early, and the guys kind of just rally around each other. The defense obviously gave up 28 early, but like Coach says, we play complementary football. So we scored 21 on offense, and we're kind of picking each other up, and you could tell the defense, they were pretty upset, and they went to work. And when we needed 2 big stops, we got them, and we have the utmost faith. I mean, at the end of the game, it's 4th and short. Like, we punt the football, and Coach Tort says, like, go make a stop, defense. Like, he trusts the defense. We trust the defense as a unit, as a team, and they came up big. So, the atmosphere was cool. I mean, it was pretty cold. It was cold. It was windy. Like, it felt like November football.
Felt like football.
Yeah, it felt like football. So, especially back in Western PA. So,
no panic.
No, and at the end of the day, you got to find a way to win. Like, I've been a part of games where you play pretty good and lose. So at the end of the day, you got to find a way to win the game. You can never panic. I could still hear the big guy. That was one of his mantras: never panic, never panic. So I told the team at halftime, we're down 7. We got a whole half of football. We're getting the opening kickoff. We're the better team. There's no panic here. And when you look at a team and you say things, it was resonating with them. Like, they were – I didn't really have to say it.
They were
like, they weren't
it.
panicking. And, Matt had said a couple things like, hey, we're going to take the game over in the second half. Our culture is going to take over.
And it did.
And he was right.
Yeah. So we alluded a little bit to your future. Tell us about what's to come after football.
Yeah. Well, I don't really know what's to come after football. I am going to graduate this spring from IUP with the MBA. I really enjoy finance, so I'm probably going to look at a job in that field. I do a lot of writing about the concept of finance and sports. I have a Substack page. Shamelessly, I'll plug it. But anyway, yeah. So whatever. I like reading and stuff about that. So we'll see what ends up happening. I got no idea. Like, I couldn't tell you anything what I'm going to be doing in the future. But hopefully, I'll have some fun with it. And I don't know where I'll be, but.
You'll be we all have to be somewhere, but
maybe he'll let me on his Substack page. Berglund charges me. I don't. I don't have a subscription. I can't. I ain't paying for that.
Yeah, you can read my stuff for free, Coach.
It's really interesting how the world has come around. I was not aware of Substack until I think a year or so ago with Tony Cacondia. Does basketball with me, the great writer at the Gazette for 40 years, and I said, what is that all about?
Yeah.
Now it's ballooned. It's incredible.
Yeah.
And I've learned a lot of stuff from it. That's for sure.
It's like I call it like the more like educated version, more well-read version of like social media. So people are writing articles and stuff. It's a little more fun than reading like a paragraph tweet. You get like a full 3 pages of something. So I don't know. I like Substack.
Well, we're all looking forward to the 10th game here. With the conference championship on the line, and there have been other championships here. It's been a couple years since been in the playoffs, but it feels really, really good to keep talking about what's coming down the line. Just your perspective on, approach day by day now, just the same way, same routine, getting ready for another game?
Yeah, I mean, we've been at this, Coach, what was it, August 11th? Is that?
Yeah, 10th. It's 3 months today, reported.
So, we've been doing this for 3 months. At this point, you've got your routine, you've got your schedule. All of our meetings, they look the same. Obviously, it's a bigger game, but you just rely on your training and you rely on the prep that you've put in the whole way through. You don't have to switch anything or be anything different. Championship teams just be who they are, and they just execute to the level that they're able to execute at. So, he's been talking about this since, August 11th. In my notebook, there's like every day, usually he has some sort of quote that he leads it with, and I always write down the quotes. So he's been.
What's the latest one? We had the Ali thing.
The latest one. What did you do today? Was it the past couple 2 weeks has been like everything. It doesn't matter what you do till November. That's
they only remember what you do in November. But poetic. I used when we were down 28-14. We were like Muhammad Ali. We don't belong here. Yeah. That's what he said when he was on the canvas and he got up and won the fight. So I guess our guys, I said to them when we were down 28-14, it was kind of like we said, hey, we don't belong in this position, because from that point on, we took the game over.
Mm-hmm.
It's like prepare like champions, like just little one-liners.
You were aware of who Ali was.
Oh yeah,
Yes. Some weren't.
We watched a documentary on it.
Yeah, I taught him. I taught him. I told him.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, it's great, these guys. It's great whenever you can look at players as they are. No numbers, no helmet, and whatever, because they're just really great people. And we're going to have a lot of fun here battling you want to beat the best, you got to beat the best, right?
Yeah, I mean, how many times you get to play the number 3 team in the country in anything ever in your life? So, awesome opportunity for us.
Charlie, thanks for coming in.
Yeah.
Appreciate it a lot.
Appreciate it, Coach. Thank you, Jack.
Charlie, you bet. All right, we're going to be back with the fourth quarter. We always do well in the fourth quarter, so we'll be back with Hawk Talk on U92.5 and U92Radio.com and Renda Digital TV right after this.
Since 1936, Walker Motor Company in downtown Katanning has served Western Pennsylvania with its no-pressure, no-hassle environment, bringing the kind of family-owned and oriented dealer experience that everyone wants when it comes time to purchase a new or used vehicle. Whether you are looking for a new GMC, pre-owned vehicle, service, or collision repair, come on over to Walker Motors and see why they've been voted #1 for 6 straight years. Visit them at walker-motor.com.
Located along the beautiful Allegheny River in downtown Katanning, the Meredith Inn provides an atmosphere of casual upscale dining. If you're looking for the perfect venue for your next event, look no further than the Meredith Inn. Family gatherings, wedding rehearsal, business meeting, or just a night out. It's perfect for all occasions, and their menu has something for everyone, leaving all full and satisfied. For more information, visit them at themeredithinn.com or call 724-793-7364.
From furniture to flooring, mattresses to accessories, you'll save big at Dowd's. Dowd's showrooms are filled with furnishings from America's finest manufacturers. You can save thousands on Dowd's floor samples and receive incredible savings on custom orders. Whether you're looking to furnish one room or your entire home, right now it's all on sale at Dowd's. Drive a little, save a lot. Dowd's of Plumville and Greensburg.
Doesn't your home deserve Dowd's?
Welcome back. We're back with the fourth quarter of Hawk Talk as we get ready for a Saturday game here coming up at noon at Kutztown for the PSAC Championship automatic bid to the NCAA and the rankings which came out in the last hour or so. I'll just repeat them if you didn't hear. Undefeated Kutztown #1, Virginia Union 2, Johnson C. Smith is 3. They're both 9-1. IUP moves up from 5 to 4. Top 4 teams get a home game. 7-2 record. Cal right behind at 7-3. Frostburg, #6, is 8-2. #7 is Assumption, 7-2. They're coming a bad loss to Bentley. Bentley wins that conference there. Fayetteville State is #8 and Slippery Rock 9. They are both 6-3, and Charleston 7-3 is #10. Kutztown, Coach, on paper, they are just unbelievable, and on the field they're unbelievable. What do you have to do? Fans want to know what is the must when you have to win this game here.
Well, I mean, they're a really good team. We're going to have to play well in all 3 phases. We're going to have to stop the run on defense because they'll line up and run the football. They're more of an old school type offense, but they can throw it. The quarterback's really good. They got good receivers. They got a huge offensive line. Their defense is #1 in the country. They're only giving up 9 points a game. They haven't given up a point in all year in the first quarter. They've never been behind in all their games this year. They've never been behind. So we've played a really tough schedule. Ashland and the West, had a lot of good teams this year. Mm-hmm. Clarion, Slippery Rock, Edinburgh, Cal. There weren't a lot of easy games. Even Lockhaven on the crossover has ended up going over in the East and having a pretty good year. So, and we played a really good Ashland team. So, we've played a really good schedule that's prepared us for this game.
They've been like the number one team for the last 3 years. Jim Clements has done a terrific job.
Sure.
He's won 100 games, in his career. How does this all come about? I looked on there, the roster. They only have 6 transfers. They've gone the high school route.
Well, they get a lot of kids from Jersey. And when you look at it, New Jersey doesn't have any Division II schools. So if you're a football player in the state of New Jersey and you're not going to Division I, you're probably going to Kutztown. And half of their starters are from New Jersey, and they're good players. And then they've done a great job out east recruiting, and they've done a great job developing. Like on their 2 deep, they only have 2 freshmen, so they're redshirting pretty much all their freshmen. They only have 6 seniors starting, so they've got a ton of they've just done a great job of developing. He does a great job. It's a great program. In 22 we won it against Shepherd, and then they've kind of taken over the last couple years in the conference.
Mm-hmm.
Once Shepherd was done with Badgett, they kind of took over the East the last 2 or 3 years. And this year it's been just until last week they didn't play a game that wasn't decided by less than 28 points.
Mm-hmm.
So, we've played a lot of pressure football, a lot of high leverage situations where they haven't. Now, that's not to say that they won't be ready, and we can't worry about whether they're ready or not. We have to be ready. We've played in a lot of tough situations, tough games. We've been in 4 one-score games. We've played, a couple teams in the East that obviously played Kutztown. Kutztown beat Edinboro. They beat Gannon in their crossovers. We beat Lockhaven, and we beat Millersville in our crossover. They're the best team right now until somebody beats them.
Mm. They got a scare last week from Bloomsburg.
Right.
Bloomsburg scored 27 points against them and gave it all they had. So that's probably, and you talk about the only game that they really were
up until
challenged.
that point, they like I said, they hadn't given up, and they didn't give up a point in the first quarter last week. But they really have not played, other than this past week, in a game where the game was on the line after the first quarter. Statistically, they're giving up 9, they're scoring 42. You can't find a statistic that's not great. I'm not saying good. Like every stat, rushing yards, passing yards, rushing yards given up, passing yards given up, touchdown passes versus touchdown passes given up. And their kicking game's really good. They got great special teams. Their statistics are off the charts. There's not one. I looked pretty hard today. There's not one stat, and there's about 50 stats that you can look at: third down, red zone, turnover ratio. They don't have one negative stat. Not only do they not have a negative stat, they don't have a stat that's not great. So. We'll have to play a really good game. But, I remember in 22 when we were playing Shepherd here in the PSAC championship with Badgett, and they were undefeated, and they were ranked in the top 5. And, we showed up and played a good game, and were fortunate enough to win. So hopefully we can do the same thing this year.
He's probably as good, definitely was as good a quarterback as what many of us have seen. The quarterback for Kutztown is Judd Novak.
Right.
Now, he's not a big guy. He's like 6'1", 195 or whatever. I had asked you earlier, one of your backup quarterbacks, Zach Hahn, his dad coached Novak. At Manheim
Township, or Central, one or the other.
So you get a little bit of insight of what this guy's about.
Well, the quarterback, Kutztown's quarterback before Novak was also a Manheim. Whoever that quarterback was, we beat in 21. He was a Manheim kid too.
Mm-hmm.
So they've just kind of used Manheim's quarterbacks up until Zach, and then Zach. We got Zach Hahn, but they had already taken Novak, I think, 2 years before that.
Mm.
And Novak ended up coming in and starting as a freshman, after 3 or 4 games.
Yeah, in fact, I think he was the rookie of the year. We have what do we have up
Well,
there?
here's what we do have, Jack. We will be wearing the helmet. Every player this week will be wearing this sticker on their helmet.
Oh, my gosh.
The JB 600 sticker. For your 600th game, which is amazing,
Wow.
announcing 600 games at
I'm overwhelmed.
IUP. So every player, and I'm sure some coaches will put this sticker on their hats, and every player will be wearing the JB 600 sticker, as you can see it here. And that helmet is for you.
Wow, I'll tell you, I'm blown away by this, but thanks, Coach.
Well deserving, buddy.
Thanks for the memories that keep coming, and I'll tell you what, this has been a great ride, and I'm not retiring, and we're going to play another game and go from there. Coach Campy said earlier, says, when's the 600? I said, I said November 15th. Said, maybe we can keep going beyond that. So we'll see what happens. I appreciate it a lot, Coach.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. This picture, by the way, that's back here, my interview with a cassette, and big guy, Frank Signetti, was taken at Allendale, Michigan, the first NCAA win.
In Grand Valley,
Grand Valley, yeah. So, wow, I don't know what else to say except thanks very much. But, what the players talk about, and I think what this community talks about, is just how they come together. We're seeing where, unfortunately, enrollment's dropping everywhere and so on, but the fans have stayed with us over the years, and that's all you could ask for. Why would a coach like you be here for 30 years?
To be with you.
Well, but Coach Signetti gave you he gave you a comment when you came here, right?
Yeah, he said it was I can't even remember now. 95 is when I came here. He said, look, come here, run the defense for 2 years, and go back to Division I. That was 4 kids, a wife, and 31 years later, they haven't gotten rid of me.
Well, that just says something, I think, for the entire program, that's for sure. And, you've talked from time to time, and the players talk about it all the time. I think I had it in my notes. The players in their interviews give a lot of credit to your coaching staff.
Yeah, they did a tremendous job Saturday. I mean, they just, when it was 28-14, no panic, stayed the course, coach the next, we tell the players to play the next play. Well, as coaches, you got to coach the next play too. You can't be worrying about what just happened. And our guys did a great job on both sides of the ball and the special teams. That was a big part of it.
It amazes me that you coaches on the sideline have so many things going, and how it's, for the most part, organized.
It's organized. It's organized chaos.
Okay.
It is that, but the other thing is when you've been working with the same guys for a long time, you start to think alike.
You know each other's, like players.
And it's just like the other day with Frank. We completed the pass to Charlie, and it was 4th and 3. And I looked at him, and he looked at me, and we said we should kick the field goal. We said it at the same time. So, we kicked the field goal and got the lead. That was our first lead of the game.
Yeah.
And that, there was no I think we should go for it. No, well, we maybe we should kick. We were both looked at each other and said, we got to kick the field goal.
Yeah. Well, okay. Noon Saturday, we'll be on the radio on U92radio.com at 11:30 in the morning. Noon kickoff for the championship. We'd love to see you, a lot of you there. Listen, watch, be a part of it, and we'll give it a go for number 600 and see what can happen, huh, Coach?
That might be our lucky day.
Thanks. Thanks to Charlie. Thanks to the coach. Thanks to all of you. Our winner for the Meredith Inn is Marie Phillips. Marie Phillips, congratulations. Thank you to John Smathers, and back at the studio, Danielle Pisarczyk. This is Jack Benedict for the coach. Have a Major League night. Show your IUP spirit and get your hawk on with help from the Co-op Store, your one-stop location for all your IUP swag and apparel. Check out Norm's Bargain area for $25 fleeces and hoodies. Logo tees only $9.99. The Co-op Store is also the alumni headquarters. IUP is always in your heart, so put something on your front and back that shows that alumni spirit. IUP logoed water bottles, coffee mugs, spirit items for your dorm or man cave. And don't forget the Oak Grove collection. Get your hawk on at the Co-op Store or find them online at IUPstore.com.